Boom. Fixed. Here we are. Here we are. Let's go. Good morning to you, or good evening, wherever it is that you are out there. We've got a big day of tennis lined up. Round 3. We are trying to see who is going to be coming into the second week of the U.S. Open. Right now, we are going to be watching Flaviocobolli and Lorenzo Musetti. Musetti has had a awful hard court season so far. He has not been good. Flaviocobolli, I can't say I know too much about where he's been and what he's been doing and how he's playing, but I think he did all right at both DC and Toronto. Not sure how he did in Cincinnati though. So it's gonna be an interesting day. Lot of play on the line. Spots. All that. So all of this is going to be starting here very shortly. Thank you for being here. If this is your first time checking out the stream, if it is not, welcome back. All right. We got Flaviocobolli walking out on the court right now. 10 a.m. Or I guess it's 11 in New York. Number 26 in the world. Flaviocobolli and Lorenzo Musetti have actually never played before. So this is a big kind of a big moment for Italian men's tennis. Speaking of Italians, Jasmine Paolini got knocked out yesterday. That was maybe not a huge shock because she's played a lot of tennis lately, and she looked gassed in the final against Swiatek in Cincinnati. So, a little bit unfortunate, but I don't know. I don't know if you asked a player exactly, what was it worth it to make it to the final of Cincinnati and then get knocked out in the third round of the U.S. Open? I don't know. I don't know what they would say, to be honest. All right. These guys are getting ready. They are going to do a coin toss. Then we'll be underway. Oh, shoot. I missed who they said is going to receive. They just did the coin toss, and I thought I was paying very close attention to who is going to win that coin toss. Well, they're going to warm up for about 3 or 4 minutes. I am going to make a pot of coffee real quick. I will be right back. Alrighty. Had two interesting matches yesterday. Djokovic had a small hiccup in his match against Cam Norrie. Gosh, it took me a second to remember. So many names. Cam Norrie, Djokovic had a small hiccup in there in the third set, but it ends up going his way. And then Taylor Townsend. Wow. Taylor Townsend smashed Mira Andreeva last night. Mira Andreeva really never had a way into the match. It was Taylor Townsend from beginning to end. It was the crowd and Taylor Townsend versus Mira Andreeva from beginning to end. Really, right? The crowd was going insane. Anytime Taylor Townsend, blinked, the crowd was just, yes, yes, we love her, we love her. So Mira Andreeva kind of gets involved in an unfortunate situation and has some adversity there that she just could not stand up to because of the insult that Taylor Townsend received from Ostapenko. So Taylor Townsend came out angry, and she was ready to show each other or to show the tennis world who she is. And it worked. Ghost. What's going on? Yes. Today we'll have an Italian winner. I think that Cobolli won the toss, and he chose to receive. I think that is what we're looking at here. All right. They're getting their last sips of water, and then they're going to step on the court. But we got a tennis match, folks. every day unless it's the finals of Cincinnati. Then you're a runner-up. All right, Musetti is going to serve. Musetti back to serve. The two have never played before. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli, to the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Cobolli tries to go down the line. No good. Musetti gets the first point of the match. Hey, we got 7 viewers here. Thank you very much for checking out the channel, especially if you haven't been here before. We got a big day of tennis. Kasakina versus Osaka next. Forehand from Cobolli to the backhand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli again to the backhand of Musetti. Forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli down the middle of the court. Musetti opens it up with a nice backhand down the line. 30-love. Musetti has had a trash hard court season in the North Americas. I don't know why I said the North Americas, but in North America, Musetti has done nothing. So, he actually, I guess we can say he hasn't done anything since Wimbledon. Or the French Open, where, the back half of Musetti's season has collapsed. That ball from Cobolli is in, and Musetti hits it out. So, definitely want to see Musetti make a run happen. But he is a clay court specialist, so, can't be too harsh on him. Serve in the net. Second serve to the forehand of Cobolli, to the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the backhand of Musetti. That goes out, 30-all. Thank you for the likes on the video. Hello, ouch. Yeah. Yeah, ouch, if you were an Italian. Serve to the forehand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. And Musetti tries to hit a slice backhand that goes in the net. I think this match definitely goes 4. Could potentially go 5. We could potentially see a 5-set match. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli in the net. It's not Musetti's fault. He went to an Olive Garden one time, and it depressed him so much he couldn't perform. He went to an Olive Garden in the United States and just said, I don't care if I need to leave this place as quickly as possible. That's probably what happened. That was my theory on why Sinner retired at Love 5 and not at the end of the set is because he loves Olive Garden's breadsticks, but He knew he was about to get a bagel, and Italians don't eat bagels. Serve. All right, Musetti gets an overhead to put away to get on the board. Yep. Sinner has never eaten a bagel in his life. And he knew he wasn't going to get a breadstick either. So, there you go. Retires at Love 5. Thank you for the like on the video. We're pumping up the likes there. Flaviocobolli. Serving. To the forehead of Musetti. Unreturnable. Serve. It is a fault. Second serve. To the forehead of Musetti. The forehead of Cobolli. Forehead from Musetti again to the backhand of Cobolli in the net. Fault. Double fault. I love Cobolli's game. He's so fun. Cobolli has had a much better back half of the season than Musetti has. Which isn't saying much because I don't even know. Maybe Musetti's won 2 matches since Wimbledon. Maybe. Not counting the US Open. Obviously he won 1 match to get here. Serve. To the backhand of Musetti. Backhand from Musetti goes in the net. Serve is a let. Serve. That's a nice serve. We're going to deuce. Serve. Forehand of Musetti to the forehead of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti again to the forehead of Cobolli. Pushes Musetti back deep. Musetti pushes him deep with a slice. Cobolli trying to get court opened up. Musetti taking charge. Drop shot. Musetti. Not good enough. But the follow-up shot is advantage Musetti. I expect Musetti to have an advantage today because Cobolli's had back-to-back 5-setters. Oh. Yeah, that could be problematic for Cobolli because a straight sets win over Musetti is not in the cards for sure. Gosh. Serve to the backhand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the forehead of Musetti. In the net. Oh, wait. I missed part of what happened here. I guess Cobolli must have won a serve. Cobolli must have hit it a good serve and it was unreturnable, and he gets on the board. Serve from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli, to the forehand of Musetti, to the backhand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Musetti going up the lines. Backhand from Cobolli goes out. Yeah, I thought that Musetti's drop shot looked like it was out as well. But it must have caught a little piece of the line. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli. That goes out. Musetti serves to the backhand of Cobolli. That one's good too. 40 love. Serve. Fault. Second serve. Double fault. Double fault. It's not good. You don't want to serve a double fault. You want to serve the ball in. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli. That's good for the game. Musetti up 2-1. Pretty straightforward so far. No surprises. I'm going to pour some coffee and be right back. Serve from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Musetti goes out. Cobolli, 15 love. Serve in the net. Second serve to the forehand of Musetti. To the backhand of Cobolli. That one is good for Musetti. Serve to the backhand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the backhand of Musetti, who pops up a lob. It goes long. Lob goes out. Serve to the forehand of Musetti. To the forehand of Cobolli. Cobolli rips it down the line. That was nice. That was quality. He's backing up on that ball. And then just torques his hips around and rips it. That's nice. Serve to the backhand of Musetti. Drop shot from Cobolli. Musetti's there and hits it in the net. 2-2. Serve is a fault. Double fault. Serve. Fault. Second serve. Forehand of Cobolli in the net. Serve. There's a fault. Second serve. To the backhand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli in the net. Hey, somebody else liked the video. Thank you very much for checking out the channel. My name is Cody. Thank you for being here. We're going to be watching plenty of matches today and tomorrow evening. I won't be here all day tomorrow, but I will be here all day today. I'm not getting up out of this chair until midnight. Forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti. Goes in the net. Actually, that's not true. If you've been hanging out here for a little while, you see how many times I get up and down, up and down, up and down. Sometimes I just need to stand up and walk around. Serve to the backhand of... It's a let. Never mind. Doesn't matter where it went. But it's also raining today in Dallas, so I don't feel that bad about staying inside and watching tennis. Serve to the forehand of Cobolli in the net. 40, 30. It's a rainy day. Doesn't matter. U.S. Open, third round. Let's go. Watching it all. Serve from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Musetti comes into the net. Nice. Maybe the first serve volley that we've seen. Some serve volley action. Hey, who are you here for? Are you here for Lorenzo Musetti or are you here for Flaviocobolli? Go ahead. Let me know in the chat who you are rooting for, who you're here for. I think Lorenzo Musetti is going to get this one, but it's definitely, I don't think it's going to be 3 sets. I think we're looking at 4 or 5 either way. For sure. All right, time. Players are stepping back out on the court. Lorenzo Musetti returning. Serve in the net. Serve to the forehand of Musetti, to the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti is good. That's the best forehand that we've seen today, except for maybe Cobolli's shot down the line where he was falling backwards. Serve. Fault. Serve to the backhand of Musetti. That goes out. All right. Serve coming from the Italian. The serve from the Italian goes into the forehand of the Italian, but it's a fault. Serve from the Italian goes to the backhand of the Italian. Forehand from the Italian goes to the forehand of the Italian. Forehand from the Italian goes to the forehand of the Italian. Forehand from the Italian drops on the line. The Italian hits a backhand, and then the Italian hits a backhand. The Italian hits another backhand. The Italian hitting another backhand. Backhand from the Italian to the backhand of the Italian. Backhand from the Italian to the backhand of the Italian. Backhand from the... It had to happen. That had to happen on such a long point. The Italian's up. Serve to the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli. Goes out. 30 all. Serve is a fault. Forehand from Musetti is good. Another forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Jeez. Forehand. Backhand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli in the net. Musetti with his second break point of the match. If you're checking out the stats over here, Musetti is in the blue. Cobolli is in the red. Fault. Yeah, Musetti is in the blue. Cobolli is the red. Backhand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Backhand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli again to the backhand of Musetti. Forehand from Musetti. No. Oh! Backhand from Musetti down the line. And Musetti gets a break. First break of serve today. Musetti gets a chance. And he takes it. Serve is a let. People in New York really don't know how to behave themselves when it comes to tennis. It's like sit the hell down. Forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Backhand from Cobolli goes out. 15-love. They're just walking around with their beers and their polos and their Ray-Bans. Just what? Oblivious to. Serve to the forehand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti up the line. That's nice. That's nice. Serve. Ace. First ace of the match goes to Musetti. Serve. Forehand of Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli again to the forehand of Musetti. That was dangerous for Cobolli to do that because he put that in right in Musetti's pocket. But Musetti overhits it. Serve. Ace. 2 aces in that game for Musetti. Gives him 5-2. Very, very, very nicely done. Novak Djokovic looked scary yesterday on serve. In like 2 sets, Djokovic had only lost 7 in the first 2 sets. Djokovic had only lost like 7 points on serve. And I say like 7 points, but yes, in the first two sets, Djokovic lost 7 points on serve. Insane. Actually, let me see. Because if the second set was I believe the second set was the tiebreak. So I think up until the tiebreak, Djokovic had lost 7 points. And then in the tiebreak, he collapsed in the tiebreak, which is rare. Yeah. So the second set with Cam Norrie was the tiebreak, where Djokovic kind of fell apart in the tiebreak. He had lost 7 points on serve up until that tiebreak. And I think after that, I think he lost 4 points on his serve in the tiebreak. So for the whole first two sets, Djokovic lost 4 points on serve. 11 points on serve. Math, buddy. Let's go. Serve from Cobolli. Gets an error out of Musetti. And he served 8, and Djokovic served 18 aces, too. Which tied the most aces he's ever hit at a U.S. Open match in his career. So, backhand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti again to the backhand of Cobolli. Does that catch a line? No, it does not. So once the level of play was raised and Cam Norrie was actually, hitting the ball with some confidence and some energy, it took Djokovic a little while to adjust, but he did end up adjusting. And running forehand from Musetti when Cobolli's up at the net. He passes him. Yeah, it's tough to say how Djokovic is going to go through the rest of the tournament and what that's going to look like. But he plays Struff tomorrow, who's on a roll. Backhand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti. Lands right in front of the line. Musetti comes up to the net. Cobolli launches it long. Here we go. Set point to the Italian. Forehand from Musetti goes long. My mom is calling me, guys. What should I do? Decisions. Backhand from Musetti. I'm letting her go to voicemail. Serve to the backhand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the backhand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli again to the forehand of Musetti. Cobolli, advantage. Serve is a fault. Backhand from Musetti in the net. Cobolli. All right. Let's see what she had to say to me. She is just checking it. That's nice. Serve is a let. Second serve. Sorry, first serve. Now we got a second serve. Now we got a second serve. To the forehand of Cobolli, he runs around that. Backhand from Musetti is nice. So is the backhand from Cobolli. Shot in the middle of the court from Cobolli. Cobolli can't handle it. Musetti, 15. Three points away from the set. That was a nice backhand from Cobolli. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli, to the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti again. That's nice on the line. And Cobolli throws up a lob that does not find its way in the court. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli is a fault. Serve to the forehand of Cobolli goes out. All right. 3 set points for Lorenzo Musetti. Thank you for being here and checking out the channel. If you haven't been here before, awesome. Glad you're here. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli, to the forehand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli in the net. Game goes to Musetti. Cobolli's going to open up the second set with his serve. So if you haven't been here before, we've been doing this stream since the finals of Wimbledon and having some fun. I'm going to I still got new things to introduce, but I need to get a real PC so I can run more widgets and stuff, so I can get some sound effects in the stream for you all. You know, like that'd be fun. But I'm just learning all of this streaming stuff and figuring out what the heck to do with it. I want to get a big neon sign behind me for I'll show y'all what I want to do actually. I want to get a Texas tennis. I want to make this I want to get a custom Texas tennis guy sign behind me. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It would be so sick. Boom. This is what I'm talking about. So, I want to get this emblem, my idea for the Texas tennis guy logo, just the image of Texas with the tennis ball and Texas tennis guy over it. I want to get a neon sign of that right behind me. I think that would be so cool. So, because before I had the window behind me, and that was that looked awful. So I had to rearrange my whole apartment to make it conducive for streaming. But now you just get a boring gray wall behind me. But I think this would be awesome. Anyways, I don't know how much that would be. But flashes of things to come. All right? There you go. That's one of the things. And I don't know if y'all have ever seen this guy on like Instagram or Reels or something, but there's this LED sign guy that makes funny reels. I think I'm gonna reach out to that company and ask them, like, make a custom request for them to make that sign. So and then I just need to figure out how to get sound effects inside of the stream. I don't know yet. And I've been at my daily job and not enough time to figure out what to do with the sound effects. So, what kind of stats we got going on here? Nothing too crazy in the ace category. We've got so Lorenzo Musetti is the blue line. Cobolli is the red. So Lorenzo Musetti doing pretty good about holding and winning those first serve percentage. Cobolli not doing too well on the second serve. Losing quite a few of his second serves here. That's probably the difference maker right there. The second serve of Cobolli. 15. Serve from Cobolli is a fault. Forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti again to the backhand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti again to the backhand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti. Nice winner, baby! What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Musetti? Serve. Down the center. Musetti blocks it back. Forehand from Cobolli goes long. Wow, Musetti opening up the second set with 3 breakpoint opportunities. Feels bad if you're Cobolli. Not a wonderful situation to be in. Serve. Double fault. Oh, no. Cobolli. Cobolli. That was tragic. Maybe not tragic, but Abdelali. Musetti wins 3-1. I think that's very realistic. I think that makes a lot of sense. If Cobolli doesn't win this set, though, I think that Musetti actually can win in 3. Like, Cobolli needs to win this set if he's going to win a set. Backhand from Cobolli. Forehand from Cobolli. Lob. Overhead. Nada. Musetti gets a point. Serve is a fault. Second serve. Double fault. Musetti with a couple double fault issues going on here in this match. Serve. Fault. To the backhand of Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli to the backhand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti again to the backhand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti goes wide. Serve in the net. Second serve to the backhand of Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti to the backhand. Nice winner off the forehand wing for Lorenzo Musetti. Awesome. Musetti is kind of heating up a little bit here. Serve is a fault. Second serve to the forehand of Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli again to the backhand of Musetti. Oh, that was a good... That was a really good placement from Musetti if that was on purpose. I mean, that ball dipped right at the feet of Cobolli. Musetti serves to the backhand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli again off the tape, and it lands on his side. Musetti solidifies a break, gets up 2-0. Hey, Max. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Good morning to you out there in Vegas, baby. In Vegas. Wait. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. You may not want people, you may not want that out there in the world. Whatever. Sorry. Forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Backhand from Cobolli goes nowhere. Serve is a fault. Serve to the backhand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti goes long. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli, or Musetti rather. Forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Cobolli hits a good defensive shot. Musetti is there, but he hits it a little bit wide. Cobolli serves. Forehand of Musetti in the net. Serve. That goes out. All right. Cobolli gets on the board. I actually haven't looked at the... I haven't looked at what happened yesterday. Wait, yesterday. Like, what ended up happening with Taylor Fritz? Okay, so Taylor Fritz ended up winning his match. This tiebreak between Jerome Kim and Fritz went 11-9, which was pretty insane. Coco Golf is playing. Is my mic off? No? Can you not hear me? Is my mic off? Can you hear me? Yeah, your sound. Don't make me panic. I got. So tonight, oh hell yeah. Tonight, Tommy Paul and Bublik. That could be exciting. Tommy Paul and Bublik. Huh. Zverev and Aliassim. This is like a throwback match to 2017. Hadaj Maya versus Sakari. Kalinskaya and Swiatek. That's good. So Kalinskaya versus Swiatek. Try to figure out. Okay, that's what we're doing tonight. That's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to go Kalinskaya into Bublik, Tommy Paul. Why's Cobolli laying on the ground? Cobolli's just laying on the ground. Why did he do that? What happened? Cobolli has a sense of humor. Volley from Musetti. Lob overhead. Musetti. Musetti back at the baseline. So is Cobolli. Drop shot from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Nice rally here, back and forth. Forehand from Cobolli to the backhand. Musetti goes out. This is all, that 40 was wrong. We're at 15 all. I was busy looking at the matches over here. Point of the match right there. $15 all. To the forehand of Cobolli. To the backhand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti, who chucks up a lob. Cobolli puts the lob away. Nice. Cobolli is making a push here. He knows that he cannot allow Musetti to get too far out in front. Serve from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli again. That's a nice forehand. Cobolli trying to take control of this point. Musetti has got something to say about it. That's a nice backhand. Short ball for Musetti. Gets up to it. Lob from Cobolli. Musetti's going to let it bounce. And he hits it long. Oh, no. It looks like that ball went directly in front of the sun, and Musetti loses it. Musetti thought about hitting it out of the air, and then he looked up and he noticed it was in the sun, and he kind of blinked. And then he loses track of it. Wow, Musetti, ace. But Cobolli has a big opportunity right here to get back in the set. Serve from Musetti. Fault. Serve to the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti. To the forehand from Cobolli again. Forehand from Musetti. To the backhand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti up the line. Cobolli on the run. Cobolli running around. Musetti in control. Backhand from Cobolli down the center. Backhand from Cobolli just loses some steam. And Cobolli is hunched over. He has expended a lot of energy in this game. This could be rough for him if he does not come away with a game here. Serve. Is a let. Second serve. Sorry, first serve. To the backhand of Cobolli. Short. Musetti gets up to it. Perfect. Put it away. Perfect. Serve is a fault. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli. Goes out. All right. That is pretty crushing for Cobolli. He put in a lot of energy to do something there, and he comes away with nothing. Musetti up 15 love. Serve. The backhand of Musetti. The forehand of Cobolli. Cobolli in the net. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is even worse. This is even worse. Serve. The forehand of Musetti. That lands in. Oh, brother. Stop. Stop. That was absurd. That shot. Forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti again to the backhand of Cobolli. That goes out from Cobolli. Game. Musetti. Double break for Lorenzo. That's going to be a real tough ask. That is going to be a real tough position for Cobolli. I will be right back. Okay. Thank you for waiting. Had to make a call. And we're at 40 love. Or love 40. Backhand of Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli again down the center of the court. Forehand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli. He is piecing Musetti up right now. That was a great point. I don't know how that's going to affect the set. But there we are. Cobolli gets one of the breaks back. Cobolli gets a break back. And forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Backhand from Cobolli to the backhand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli down the line. Musetti on the run. Short ball. Cobolli gets up to it. Hits it in the net. Hits it in the net. Serve. Second serve to the backhand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli in the net. Love 30. The second serve from Cobolli is not good. Serve. It's a problem right now. Cobolli has only won 5 points on his second serve for the match. No good. And only 1 point this set on his second serve. Backhand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. That one lands on the back of the line. Drop shot from Cobolli. Musetti gets up to it and ends up hitting it long. Musetti got a little something to say about that. He definitely thought that one was in, and it wasn't. Serve. Fault. Second serve to the forehand of Musetti, the backhand of Cobolli. Musetti. No, was that out from Cobolli? It was out. That's not good for Cobolli. He did a good job to come back and break Musetti, and now he's facing another break point. Fault. And the second serve is getting clobbered. Serve to the backhand of Musetti. Cobolli tries to serve and volley, and that doesn't work. Wow. Cobolli is down 5-2 after doing so well to come back. Cobolli worked hard, but here we are. Here we are. Cobolli's got the trainer out there massaging his arm. Looks like the 5-setters could have been taking a toll on Cobolli. Definitely looks like he's in some pain there. Serve from Musetti. It is a fault. Double fault. Double fault from Musetti. 15 all. Forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti again to the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Inside out forehand from Musetti. He tries to get something done there. Doesn't work. Musetti just seemed like he was done with that point no matter what. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli. Goes out. 30 all. If Musetti gets this set, yeah, we're probably gonna be done in 3. Serve. Fault. Serve. The backhand of Cobolli. The backhand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli. Musetti on the run. Stretches out for it. Can't get it. Break point Cobolli. Serve. In the net. Second serve. To the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Cobolli goes out. Yes. Forehand from Cobolli goes out. Forty all. Serve. Fault. Second serve. To the forehand of Cobolli, to the backhand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli to the backhand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the backhand of Musetti. Musetti trying to take control here. And he's doing a good job. Nice defensive shot from Cobolli, though. Musetti getting Cobolli on the run. Short ball. Oh, Musetti ends up hitting that one out. He took charge of the point, but it didn't work. But that's okay. It's the way Musetti's playing these points is fine. He should be taking charge. Serve is a fault. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli in the net. We're going back to deuce. Back to deuce. Serve. Fault. Hey, thank you for the like on the video. Appreciate you. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli, the forehand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli, the forehand of Musetti again. He tries to go down the line. Misses the target maybe a little bit. Good point developing here. Cobolli with a backhand. Musetti just pounding the backhand right now of Cobolli. Asking the question, can you keep it up? Musetti gets that point. Eventually, the backhand of Cobolli falters. Serve is a fault. Forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Drop shot. Nope. Musetti hits the ball off the tape, and we're going back to deuce. Going back to deuce. We got an 8-minute game going on here at the moment. Serve. And it feels like Cobolli is fighting for his tournament life right now. Serve. To the backhand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. That's a nice shot. But Musetti still gets it in. Forehand from Musetti. Oh, that's beautiful. But Cobolli's there. Cobolli's still moving. And he ends up hitting it in the net. That was a nice shot from Musetti. I have to say, this is the best that we've seen Musetti play in a while. This is the best that we've seen Musetti play in some time. He's hitting the ball clean, finding lines, angles. His first serve isn't great. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli. That goes out. Musetti is going to take the set, and Cobolli has a major hill to climb if he's going to make this into a competition. So, Musetti. I've been talking trash about Musetti a little bit, even though I really love Musetti. I've been talking trash about him a little bit in this. And let's go see why, right? Round of 64, after the bye, Musetti goes out against Bonzi at Cincinnati. So that's not good. National Bank Open, men's singles. Musetti wins one match. Goes down to Mickelson. And at DC, Musetti loses in his first match against Cam Norrie. Then we have to go all the way back to Wimbledon, where he lost first round again. So Lorenzo Musetti has not done great since the French, where he lost in the semifinal with a walkover. So I don't remember what he hurt at the French, what injury Musetti was experiencing at the French. If someone in the chat remembers why Musetti had to concede the match to Alcaraz in the semifinal at the French, please let me know. But right now, Cobolli is in trouble, and Musetti is playing the best tennis that we've seen him play in several months. All right, Cobolli is going to serve to open up the third. Serve to the forehand of Musetti, to the forehand of Cobolli in the net. Love, 15. And Cobolli dealing with some sort of forearm wrist issue at the moment. Forehand from Musetti to the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti to the backhand of Cobolli. Backhand from Musetti in the net. So we'll see how much Cobolli plays on here. He's just been getting some massages and that kind of thing for his wrist. But clearly not at 100%. Forehand from Musetti to the backhand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Hits the tape and pops out. But there are very few players right now that are 100%. You know? Serve is a fault. Like, can we even be confident that Musetti is 100% out here? Forehand from Musetti. Ooh, is a winner. That's a winner. Looks like Ghost was right. That Cobolli's back-to-back 5-setters are definitely playing a toll or taking a toll on the body. Serve, fault from Cobolli. Second serve. The forehand of Musetti. The forehand of Cobolli goes wide. 30-40. Fault. Serve. To the backhand of Musetti. That one goes wide. It was a good second serve. It looked like that second serve was actually about to go. It was actually about to go wide, but serve to the forehand of Musetti. Cobolli comes to the net. Cobolli's rushing the net a lot, and you know that that's something a player is going to do when they are trying to finish points early. They do not want to play long points. They're ailing in some way. Serve the forehand of Musetti. Forehand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Backhand from Cobolli to the forehand of Musetti. Cobolli with another forehand. Musetti just pulling him side to side right now. Forehand from Cobolli. He comes into the net. Tries to volley. That ends up in the net. Musetti breaks again. That is... That's 5 breaks to Musetti. 5 breaks total. Serve from Musetti is a fault. Second serve. To the backhand of Cobolli. That's a nice backhand. Cobolli comes up to the net. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. 15. Cobolli's just coming up to the net in desperation right now. And that's not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. Serve to the forehand of Cobolli. He blocks it back. Lob from Cobolli. Lands out. Let's see. So net points. Cobolli has come up to the net 12 times. He's only won 5 of them. He's only won 5. Return from Cobolli goes out. 40 love. Uh-oh. Cobolli may be considering pulling out of the match. He just points at his box and goes... He repeated that motion. So it looked like he was saying maybe one more game, and then he's done. It seems like what that signal meant. Forehand from Cobolli. Volley from Cobolli. Nope. Cobolli shakes his head. Cobolli shakes his head. He says, nope. No more. The right arm of Cobolli. The two Italians, they hug. They both respect each other. Musetti gets out of this one and plays his best tennis. Musetti plays his best tennis that we have seen since the French Open, for sure. So this is very positive, even though, like, this is probably genuine fatigue and muscle issues and soreness from Cobolli. But this is also Musetti just taking the hope and all of the wind out of Cobolli from the match. Like, if Cobolli won the second set, does he retire? Probably not. Probably not. But right now, he's probably weighing the options and sees that there's really no chance for him to come back in this match. And he decides to take care of the body first before he just crushes himself, I guess. You know? So, Lorenzo Musetti is going to be in the round of 16. See, Lorenzo Musetti is just not a hard court player. This is the first time that Lorenzo Musetti will ever play in the fourth round of the U.S. Open. So Musetti, they've never played each other on tour, like an official ATP match, but they know each other very well. So it's not a... Musetti's not happy that this happened, but here we are. So let's see what I guess we don't have to do the Osaka match. I do not love watching Naomi Osaka, but she is the next one up on Louis Armstrong Stadium. I do not love watching Naomi Osaka. We could watch Shapovalov Sinner. Or we could watch Kasatkina and Osaka. So I'm going to throw out a poll in the chat for anyone who's there. Which match do you want to watch? And I'll give you 5 minutes to respond. Osaka versus Kasatkina. Sinner versus Shapovalov. Shapo. All right. If you're here, and you want to vote here for who we are going to watch next, we got Osaka versus Kasatkina or Sinner versus Shapovalov. I am happy with either. Actually, I'm happier with Sinner and Shapo, but people tend to like the ladies' matches a little bit better on YouTube for whatever reason. For whatever reason. I'll give y'all 5 minutes to respond to that. And then we'll switch over the stream. Cobolli. Cobolli had a arm, like a forearm, wrist injury, fatigue, something like that. You know, it was something along those lines. He also just probably had no chance to come back in this match. So there's one vote for the Osaka match. I will, if we end up at a tie, I will just play the match that got the first vote. If we end up with a tie, I'll play the match that got the first vote, which would be Osaka and Kasatkina. Go ahead, drop a vote in the chat. Who do you want to see next? We've got two options. Let's see what is going on around the court at the moment. Coco Gauff. Let's see what Coco Gauff is doing right now. Hey, Coco Gauff playing a lot better today than she has recently. Only 4 double faults. She has had some disgusting matches lately. Two more minutes to vote.
So Lorenzo Musetti through. He'll be back Monday for fourth round action here in New York. That wraps things up in terms of our first match of the day.
Let's see. Kalinskaya, Swiatek will be good tonight. Alexandrova and Sigaman this afternoon. Who else is playing this afternoon? Altmaier, Diminar. Probably won't watch that. Probably take a break this afternoon. One more minute to vote on the next match. Osaka versus Kasatkina or Sinner versus Shapovalov. All right, we are going to be watching Osaka Kasatkina. There we go. You win. Person with 1 vote. There we go. All right, I'm going to fire up the next stream. They are going to be playing at 12:15. All right, so I'm taking like a short break, and then I'll fire up the next stream. I will see you there. Thank you very much for checking the stream out. Awesome. Let's go. Continue the day.